In this video, I'm sharing exactly what you need to do in order to start a recruiting agency as a beginner. Hey, what's up YouTube? It's Natasha, the business recruiter. Welcome back to my channel. So if you're in a space where you are thinking about starting a recruiting agency and you're feeling a little bit lost and you're like, I have no idea what it is that I need to do. Well, I am here to tell you that you can get that recruiting agency off of the ground in 8 simple steps. Now, keep in mind that no matter where you are in terms of these steps, that it's going to be extremely advantageous for you to master each one before you move on to the next. Keep in mind that everyone had to start out as a beginner at some point. And even as you continue to navigate through each of these steps, it's important to note that you will always be in a mindset where you're continuing to learn because there's always opportunities for you to be able to improve. Heck, as I think about it now, honestly, I've gone through each of these 8 steps that I'm about to go over, but I'm still honestly continuing to learn and grow and incorporate new things into my business, even at this point. So just keep in mind that even if you're at that point of starting, that the learning never stops. You'll continue to learn as you get your agency off of the ground and established. Okay, so we're going to jump right in then with step number 1, which is to figure out what your business name is going to be. And as I've mentioned in prior videos, I definitely don't recommend that you spend a lot of time on this. Establish what your business name is going to be, and then from there, solidify it. Do not ponder on this way too long. What you're going to do is you're going to start to overthink it too much and then second guess your business name. As long as it's something professional, as well as something that doesn't limit you in terms of expansion down the line, then I assure you that the business name you've come up with is going to work. Step number 2 is for you to establish your business entity. And this could be an LLC, this could be a corporation, this could be an LLC that's then taxed as an S Corp. I encourage you to work with your tax professional in order to determine what business entity is going to work best for you. But again, you have to establish some form of a business entity. That way you can ensure that you're able to protect yourself. While we all hope that a lawsuit will not happen, it definitely is possible in this business, and there's actually quite a few that have happened, and they've been substantial in terms of the settlement. So just keeping in mind, you want to do what you can in order to protect yourself from the very beginning. Step number 3 is, to me, an easy one, and that's to create a professional email. Once you've established your business entity, you can then go ahead and get your domain name that would be associated with your business. From there, you can then create your professional email because that handle within your email is going to have your domain name associated with it. A professional email is going to allow you to be able to present yourself in the most polished way possible. That way, when you do get to the point where you are reaching out to prospective clients, they'll be able to take you serious because they know that you're a business who has went through all of the steps to establish yourself as appearing as an established business. Step number 4 is for you to go ahead and create a website using some form of a template. Keep in mind, this is another one where you don't want to spend too much time pondering the perfect setup for your website. Get something in place that is going to make you look professional as well as established, and then go from there. And there's plenty of options out there for you to be able to establish that website, whether it's leveraging something such as Fiverr.com and hiring a freelancer to do it for you, or if it's you actually leveraging maybe your hosting site for your website and using a template that they have. There's a billion options out there for you to be able to leverage in terms of your website, so there's no excuses why you shouldn't have one, but also don't spend too much time on it. And pro tip, if you are in a place where you're not quite sure exactly what you should include on your website, then Google other recruiting agencies out there. Get an idea to some of the information that they include on their websites, and then figure out how it can be leveraged or incorporated into your own website. That way you're not in a position where you're reinventing the wheel and then of course delaying this particular step. Okay, step number 5 is where it starts to get fun. And this is where you're going to start to establish your cold emailing campaign, as well as making connections with individuals on LinkedIn. Ideally, each of these steps goes hand in hand, but this particular step is the most important because it's the start of you actually reaching out to prospective clients and being able to get to a point where you're sending out that cold email to them. Now, keep in mind that cold emailing is not the only strategy that you can leverage in order to get prospective clients. Cold calling is also another strategy. For me, I found the most success in cold emailing, which is why I will always recommend it in terms of a strategy that you should have in your wheelhouse as you're thinking about reaching out to prospective clients. And also keep in mind that there's not a limit to how many connections you can make on LinkedIn. You never know how that one connection can result in being a prospective client for you. And then if that prospective client turns into a repeat client for you, that's just continuous business and revenue that's coming into your business. Never underestimate the power of networking, even if it seems as simple as just making a LinkedIn connection. Step number 6 is once you have gone through and you have sent your cold emails out to your connections that you've made on LinkedIn and you have a prospective client that is interested in your services, from there, what you want to go ahead and do is send over the contract for them to review. And if you are not familiar, I do have a contract template that you can leverage that will help you in order to get this step completed as soon as possible. So if you are interested in leveraging that contract template, then I will leave that link down below in the description box where you can go ahead and download it. Now, before we get to steps 7 and 8, if you have not already subscribed to my channel and you are enjoying the content, take a break and go down below and hit that subscribe button as well as that bell so that you can get notified of all of my videos that drop each week. Okay, step number 7 is making that placement. So once you've had the opportunity to go through all of the other steps, you have that signed contract in place, the terms are agreeable for you as well as your client, now is the time for you to start working on that requisition and get a candidate in place. Again, this should be the fun step because you are literally one step away from being able to get paid. And there's so many sourcing strategies that you can leverage in regards to being able to find viable candidates who could potentially fill the requisition that you're working on. So ensure that you are putting your best foot forward as you're going through and thinking about what your sourcing strategies are going to be. If it's an entry-level role, it might be fairly easy for you to be able to find viable candidates. However, if it's a niche role, then it might take you a little bit longer. So make sure that you put on that creative hat because your creativity is going to be what leads you to being able to actually make that placement. Step number 8 is finally my favorite step and also going to be your favorite step because this is the step in which you get paid. So based on all of the work that you have done with the prior steps, this is when you're finally able to go ahead and get that check for all of the hard work that you have put in. And keep in mind that this is where really your contract comes into play in regards to how you're actually able to get paid. So your client is going to focus on what your payment terms are. Usually on the first day of the employee starting at that company is when you'll send over the invoice, and then that's when your payment terms will go into effect. Once you've completed this step, now you've gone through all of the steps in order to get your recruiting agency off of the ground. From here, all you have to do is focus on steps 5 through 8. Continue to find ways to innovate. And there might be some opportunities within your business as you continue to get established where maybe you'll go back to step number 2 and really think through your business structure. Or maybe you'll go back to step number 4 and think through, now that you've been in the industry for some time, making some updates to your website. Keep in mind that this is a dynamic business, which means that things are going to continue to change. They're going to continue to innovate, and you're going to continue to evolve as a recruiting agency owner. This is why it's so important for you to always be in that growth mindset and understand that whether you've been in this industry for a year or 10 plus years, there are always things for you to learn in order to be able to get better. Well, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, then be sure to give me a thumbs up. Also, if you have not checked out my last couple of videos, then I do want to let you know that I have officially launched my recruiting business accelerator program. So if you have not had the opportunity to get on that waiting list, open enrollment is going to be happening within the next couple weeks. Make sure that you get on that waiting list so that you can stay updated on all the latest and greatest associated with the program. I'll be sure to leave that link down below in the description box. As well as don't forget about my Facebook group. If you're still interested in talking about everything recruiting, then be sure to go down below and hit that link so that you can join my Facebook community where we are talking all things recruiting. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.